Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Vince and welcome back to the channel. Now, if this is your first time here, I post on this channel once a week talking about my options trades from the prior week, as well as some financial education videos. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about the stock market, as well as trading options, then go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel. Now, in today's video, guys, we're going to start off by going over my new setup on ThinkorSwim for trading options, and then we'll get in depth into my trades on the S&P 500 ETF, on Tesla, as well as some put options that I'm currently holding on Disney. I'll dive into the charts, show you guys every single buy and sell order, as well as what I was thinking during those orders. And then at the end of the video, we'll review the stock market as a whole, and I'll show you guys what I'm thinking, as well as what I'm looking at for next week. All right, guys, so I got the charts up here. First off, let's go over the new trading setup. So what you're looking at here, guys, is on the left side, you can see this is actually the option premium. And then this on the right side is the underlying stock. So I have the wrong one here. So here's the S&P 500 ETF. So this is the underlying stock. And then on this left side is the actual option that I bought. So this is the S&P 100 weeklies, 25 March of 2020, 240 put. So that's basically the March 25th expiration for a 240 strike price and the put. So this is the actual premium trading underlying the stock, which is pretty cool. So if you guys didn't know, you can actually pull up a chart of the option premium that you're trading on ThinkorSwim. So I'll go ahead and dive into it and show you guys how to pull that up. So what I do is I go over here to trade, and then you can put in whatever stock you're looking at. So if you do SPY, which is the SPY, you can pull up the options chain here. So once you have the options chain up, I traded the March 25th expiration 240 puts. So if I go down to the strike price 240, which you can see is right here, and then this side on the right is the put side and the left side is the call side. So what you can do is you can go to anything, the bid or the ask. So you can right click on it and you can go send to, and you can make a color on it. So right now I have it being sent to red. So when I go back to my charts and I click this right here and I go to red, it'll actually pull up that options premium. So what I can do is while I'm watching the charts, I can watch the option premium as well. So this is extremely nice to just sort of trade the option and get an idea of how it's moving so that you guys can keep an eye on both of them at the same time. So if you guys have any further questions on my options setup for ThinkorSwim, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. But for now, let's dive into the trades. So what you guys can see on the left side is the option premium for the SPY, and then on the right side is the underlying stock, so the S&P 500 ETF. Now I was trading the March 25th expiration 240 puts, and that's what you see here on the left side. So my first order was on Tuesday. I went ahead and I opened a starter position. I bought 10 contracts at $11.04. That's how much the contract was trading for. And I bought that around 1:10 p.m. So let's dive into Wednesday. That's where the meat of my trades were. So let's go ahead and do some in-depth analysis into Wednesday. So what you guys can see here is Wednesday and all of the buys and sells I made on the option contract. And then over here is I replicated that on the underlying stock. So you guys can see the first action I made on Wednesday was I went ahead and I added to my position. I bought 10 more contracts at 11:10 a.m. at $14.11 per contract. So if I replicate that over here, this is where I went ahead and I started adding. Now I started adding because I saw we failed this breakout in the morning, and I felt that we would continue to sell off throughout the day. And that's sort of exactly what happened. So I went ahead and I added here. At this point, I had 20 contracts. So I was pretty heavy into this position. So I went ahead and I sold 10 of those. So half of my position, took some profits here in the next 5 minutes, the next 5-minute candle. So at this point, I had 10 contracts remaining. So I went ahead and added 5 more on this spike up here around 11:20 a.m. So I felt that, you know, we might find some resistance at this point and start to fail again. We did break through that temporarily, but by no means did we make higher highs or did we break this downtrend. so I was comfortable holding through it. Now, as you guys can see, we did start to break down again, and that's when I started to scale out of the majority of my position. So what you guys can see is I sold 10 more here. So at this point, just to review, I had 10, I added 10, so I had 20. I sold 10 here, so I had 10 contracts remaining, and then I added 5. So at this point, going into these next trades, I was holding 15 contracts. So the next action I made here, guys, I sold 10 contracts here at 13:10, so 1:10 p.m., and that's this candle right here. So I saw this big breakdown here. We started to really break down past the pre-market lows, which was around 236. We broke through that, and I was comfortable starting to scale out. So I scaled out here 10 contracts. So at this point, I was holding 5 contracts. I scaled out 3 more here at 13:20, so that's 1:20 p.m. So what you guys can see is right here at 13:20, which is 1:20 p.m. I went ahead and I sold even more, sold 3 more contracts at this point. So at this point, I had 2 contracts remaining on my original position, and I went ahead and I added more at 13:25. So in the next candle where we really broke down here, I went ahead and I added 5 more. So at this point, I was riding with 7 contracts on this huge breakdown, and I went ahead and I sold all out of my position here at 1:30 p.m. at $18.38 per contract. So went ahead and I sold all out of my position here on this candle. In hindsight, that was a pretty good place to sell it. It looks like it was actually close to the low of the day. We did have one more breakdown, but went ahead and had a late end of day rally, which I might have gotten trapped into. So I was happy to get out of my position there. So as you guys can see, I sort of bought and sold up into this uptrend here on the contract, and obviously inversely on here on this downtrend on the underlying stock. I hope you guys sort of enjoy showing you guys the option premium here on the left side, and then the stock price here on the right side. I hope I give you guys some insight on how these premiums trade with the underlying stock. So if I pull up the actual buys and sells, we can figure out how much I actually made on this. So what you guys can see is the first buy here, $11,046. So I'll go ahead and I'll add this all up. 11,046. If I make again 14,116, add that 68.23, 88.73, for a grand total of 40,858. So that's what I total bought it for. Now let's see every time I sold it what my net profit was. So if I start adding back 13,723, adding back 15,442, 49.59, 72.05, and 55.68. So a grand profit of $6,039 on my SPY puts. All right, guys, so the next trade I made was some Tesla calls, so I'll go ahead and dive into that one here. Now, as you guys can see, on the left side is the premium, and on the right side is Tesla stock. As you guys can see, it was not as much trading on this premium. I just had one buy and one sell. I bought it on Thursday, and I sold it on Friday. So on Thursday, as you guys can see, at 14:10, so 2:10 p.m., I went ahead and I bought one contract at 57.55, and that was around this point. So I was buying this anticipating a break of high of day. So I was waiting for this break here. We did get that, and I did go up pretty nicely, up to around $70 a contract from $57 a contract. So I was up nicely. Now, we started to fall off here after afternoon, but I was comfortable holding this into the next day. We were on a nice uptrend. Tesla has the potential to really break out. It probably started to have shorts loading into it. And then if you guys look at this SPY and all the indices on Thursday, we had a really nice consistent uptrend. So I had some confidence going into Friday that we would at least hold in the futures or open up higher on Friday afternoon. Now, I didn't think that we were going to maybe close higher on Friday afternoon, but with the consistent uptrend and all of the Fed backing that we were having on Thursday, I was comfortable holding this into the next day. Now, around I think like 4:30, 4:45 on Thursday, all of my confidence totally fell out of the window. Tesla reported after hours that they were closing their shop or their factories because of coronavirus. And as you guys can see, the stock went full tank mode all the way down to 387. Now at this point, my contracts, I think I was down a little over $2,000 or $3,000 on these contracts. It was not good. You know, it was basically wiping out half of my previous profit on my SPY puts. So at this point, obviously I couldn't do anything. Options don't trade after hours. So I was just holding to see that if my hypothesis that the market would open up higher the next day, that hopefully this would pull Tesla higher as well. So that is exactly what happened. Now, thankfully, you know, the market did open up higher. We did have that consistent uptrend on Thursday, and it seems like it carried into Friday. So futures opened up higher, sort of faded into open, and Tesla had a huge rally into the next day. So on this rally, you know, I was watching to wait until it broke. So as you guys can see, I had this trend line built here. Now I was waiting until this rally sort of dipped out and sort of cracked, and that's when I was going to sell. So I went ahead and I sold one contract. That one contract I had at 11.20. If I go over here, 11.20 was right here. So on this candle here, I don't think I can't tell you exactly this. Actually, let me try to break this down to the minute. So if I break these two charts down to the minute candle, now it's saying at 11.21 is when I sold it. So if I zoom in here to 11.21, so 11.21 on this candle is when I went ahead and I sold my contract on Tesla. Now, if I open up the trade confirmations and I open up the calculator, we can see that I sold Tesla for $7,248 and I bought it for $57.55 for a grand total of $1,493 on my Tesla call option. All right, guys, so the third and final trade that I made on Friday and I'm still holding into this next week are some Disney puts. So breaking that down, starting it out. So here, Disney, I have March 27th, 85 puts. Now, as you guys, again, on the left side is the premium and on the right side is Disney stock. So as you guys can see, my first order was here at $12.52. I bought 10 contracts at $4.15 per contract. So going over to $12.52 here on the underlying stock, let's go ahead and zoom into this. So $12.52 was right here on this candle here. So I saw that we were downtrending the entire day when the market was actually flat, if not uptrending a little bit. So I was confident that Disney was, you know, getting sold off on Friday. So I went ahead and I bought it around here thinking that we would continue to downtrend throughout the day. You know, I did instantly go a little bit against me here, but, you know, I didn't think that this was any type of consistent uptrend here. What I was watching was to make sure that it didn't break this 90 level. You know, that was where I was going to scale out of my position and just take the loss. We never did break that. We actually sort of double topped here around $89 per share. And once I saw that double top and us start to fall off again into the day, I was confident that I was going to hold this into the weekend. So as you guys can see, I actually went ahead and I added to this position around 2 o'clock, 2:45 p.m. So let me go ahead and zoom into that, show you guys where the stock was trading at that time. So at 2:45, that was right around here. So I actually went ahead and I added onto this little spike here. I didn't think that this was any type of, you know, legit spike here on the stock price. So I actually went ahead and I added on this little dead cat bounce here. So that proved to be a pretty good add here. We did fail it and sort of continued to downtrend the remainder of the day. Now we did have this spike end of day Friday. This was just aligned with what the market was doing. So I was comfortable holding through this, and you know, it obviously did fall off again. So another just spike that hopefully did not fake any bulls out. Or, I'm sorry, did not fake any bears out. When you guys see these big spikes here, just look left and see if it fails at any previous resistance points. As you guys can see, you know, it spiked up to this pretty strong resistance point here, and it did fail. So hopefully you guys don't get faked out in any of these big spikes. The market, when it's downtrending, when the stock is downtrending this hard throughout the entire day, there's no reason why, or there's very little percent chance that this stock just rebounds and, you know, totally comes up here and breaks all these resistance points. So just, if you're confident in a position, go ahead and hold strong. Now, the reason I was so confident in Disney was if you pull up its daily chart, it really just was not pretty. So you can see that Disney had a nice spike, trying to find some support here, a really big wick. So, you know, all here finding support, people buying this up. It did drop to 79, but on that day closed all the way up at 87. Now the next day, which is Thursday, found some really nice support and bounced up here. But on Friday, total almost an engulfing red candle here on Friday. And to me, this screams wanting to test down here at the low. So I was comfortable holding this into the next weekend. Friday ended up being a really weak day for the market, down 900 points on the Dow after a really nice day on Thursday. So, you know, I think the market was looking to see if we can continue that Thursday momentum, and we totally did not. So I was comfortable holding Disney into the next day. All right, guys, so including the gains that I'm currently holding on Disney, which is just under $1,000, I'll pop it up on the screen. I locked in just a little bit under $8,500 this week, so another awesome week trading in the market. Now, if we look into next week and we talk about the market a little bit, you know, on Thursday, I was thinking, you know, this might have been the bottom. Now, I don't want to be delusional and think that we actually were at a bottom, but it was some confidence in the market. It seemed like the Fed was working and the market was uptrending, but the performance on Friday just sort of threw out any confidence I think that any trader had. Now, I think we needed to end the week on a positive note to see next week, you know, try to get better or try to find some footing. But with the close on Friday, you know, I have no hope that next week will get any better. As you guys can see, the cases in New York get worse and worse, if not doubling on a daily basis. I think New York holds over 50% of total United States cases. So on the virus stand front, I don't think confidence is getting any better. I think we are continuing to get worse. And in the market, I see that we're continuing to break lower lows, and I don't think Monday will be any better. So at this point, I'm still bearish on the market. Now, obviously, every day could be different. You know, we could jump 3,000 points on Monday and fall 1,000 on Tuesday. So the volatility is still there, but overall, I am still bearish on the market. But guys, remember that everything I say on this channel is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just hoping that I give you guys some insight into what I'm thinking into the market. Now, as for the channel, guys, thank you so much. We just passed the 1,000 subscriber mark. It's only been a few short months here on the channel. So I hope that you guys are enjoying the content and I'm providing some value to you. If I am, go ahead and make sure to smash that like button. If you've made it to this part of the video, you know, it's been a long one. That means you should definitely be subscribing to the channel if you were interested this far. And I want to say thank you for staying tuned and for also subscribing to the channel for those of you that have. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, smash the like button. I hope to see you in the next one, and good luck in the market next week. Peace.